When we think of romance, we think about love, sweet moments, heartbreaks, intimate relationships, and more. The same feelings are present in romance manga. Most of the time, this genre caters to shoujo manga fans. However, the target audience is much broader than you might expect. Everyone experiences love. No one is an exception. Stories that appeal to the heart and our deepest feelings are ones everyone can relate to. The romance genre is perfect for readers who crave heart-tugging, heart-fluttering, and heart-wrenching moments. Here are the top 10 best romance manga that everyone will want to read. Many of these may be familiar to fans, and some are not, but all of them are good. Read on and feel the love in the air. Number 10. Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku by Fujita. Existing in a similar sweet and comedy-focused sphere as Horimiya and Kaguya-sama, Wotakoi is a romance manga with a light and funny twist. Its name, Wotaku ni koi wa muzukashi in Japanese, is a clever portmanteau of otaku and the Japanese word for love, koi. Wotakoi is a refreshing romance manga for two reasons. The first is that its protagonists are adult office workers, not teenage high schoolers. The second is that they are both closet nerds trying to pass for ordinary and diligent workers. Narumi, a fuyoshi with an obsession for yaoi manga and anime, joins a new company and, in order to make a success of her job, simply needs to keep her hobby a secret. Quickly, however, she meets and falls in love with Hirotaku, a video game-obsessed otaku who works at the same office. This central premise offers a lot of laughs and sweet moments, but it also highlights, as the title lays out, the difficulties of love and romance for otaku. This is explored in a surprisingly varied number of ways, all of which serve to keep the series interesting as it goes. Number 9, Ao-Haru Ride by Io Sakisaka. Also known by its English translation Blue Spring Ride, this is a shoujo romance manga that epitomizes the will they won't they narrative. It injects grounded, often harsh and dark, themes and events to offer readers a romance manga with real weight and substance. In that regard, Ao-Haru Ride is a shoujo manga that falls more in line with Orange than any of the more upbeat manga on this list. Ao-Haru Ride is a fairly beloved romance manga with a dedicated following, especially in Japan. The story follows 16-year-old Futaba whose first love has returned from a long stint of living in Nagasaki. However, Ko is not the boy she remembers, he is now aloof and guarded. We soon learn that this is because, while living in Nagasaki, Ko lost his mother. Ao-Haru Ride is a mature and hard-hitting story that really showcases how life throws down obstacles to happiness, and how we often build those obstacles ourselves due to naivete, self-destructive tendencies, and an inability to see the future or read the past. This is a series with plenty of twists and turns that are worth experiencing firsthand, and a romance manga that comes highly recommended. Number 8, A Girl on the Shore by Inio Asano. Consider this one a bit of a wild card. Anyone who has already read A Girl on the Shore may not consider it a romance manga, and that's kind of true. It's more complicated than that. But if you like your stories to be rocky, troubled, lustful, and angry, you'll love this manga. Inio Asano, most famous for his philosophical coming-of-age series Goodnight Punpun, has here penned a manga that exists in a single volume. A Girl on the Shore, Umibe no Ononoko, is set in a nowhere seaside town and follows the angry, lust and hate-fueled romance between Kome and Isabi. These are two bored and horny teenagers looking for fun and satisfaction. While this is not a sweet and warm romance manga, it is a very true-to-life story for countless teenagers the world over. Kome and Isabi are angry and resentful teenagers, full of tension which they help each other relieve through intense and taboo sexual meetings. As the manga progresses, their narrative becomes more complicated, with the lines between lust and love starting to blur. This is not an easy manga to read. It is full of raw, explicit depictions of sex, and these characters are very angry, very unlikable, but very human and vulnerable people. A Girl on the Shore may or may not be a romance manga, it depends who you ask, but it is certainly a masterpiece. Number 7, Tonari no Kaibutsu-kun. Tonari no Kaibutsu-kun, translated as My Little Monster, isn't only about love, but also about life. Romantic love is there, but it is entwined with the gradations of life. This series shows that life is indeed beautiful with all the experience that it can offer. Shizuku Mizutani doesn't care about anyone or anything unnecessary. All that she cares about are her grades. One day, she reluctantly accepts the task of delivering notes to an absent classmate. This classmate is Haru Yoshida, and he's very similar to Shizuku. And now that she has delivered his notes, he now believes that they are friends. Thus, their uncanny relationship begins. Number 6, Orange. While Orange is considered a romance manga, and it certainly is one, it's also a lot more than that. In fact, consider this a content warning, Orange deals with a lot of heavy themes concerning mental health and suicide. Orange straddles quite a few genres, including romance, slice of life, and even the supernatural. It's also a short manga, available in 2 oversized volumes that you can binge over a weekend. This makes Orange a satisfyingly complete and focused manga experience. The story of Orange closely follows a group of friends, the main character of which is high schooler Naho Takamiya. At the start of a new school year, Naho receives a letter from someone who claims to be her future self. Future Naho explains that her biggest regret was her failure to save the life of a boy named Kakaru Naruse. The letter has arrived on this particular day because it is the same day that Kakaru joins their school in Matsumoto from his former life in Tokyo. Kakaru is quickly assimilated into Naho's group of friends, becoming their 6th member. The letter which Naho received is filled with a list of detailed instructions on how to save Kakaru's life. Naho must decide whether or not to trust and follow these instructions each day. Meanwhile, in the future, Naho is married to Hiroto, and we are occasionally sent forward into their life as they reminisce about their high school days 10 years ago, and about their now late friend Kakaru. Orange is a beautiful, hard-hitting story of love, friendship, mental health, and the responsibilities we have to and for one another. It's a romance manga, for sure, but it's also so much more. And Ichigo Takano is a genius mangaka for putting together something as beautiful as Orange. Number 5, Lovely Complex. This is another adorable comedy romance manga that has stood the test of time. Love Calm follows the ongoing and endearing friendship of 2 students at a school in Osaka. The gimmick is that the girl, Risa, is unusually tall and the boy, Atsushi, is unusually short. The 2 are labeled a comedy duo by their classmates. Osaka is known across Japan as the nation's comedy capital, and the series even has its characters speaking the Kansai dialect. Their story is complicated by the arrival of other love interests who better match our protagonists' heights, but things certainly do not go so smoothly. This is a very sweet, wholesome, albeit silly and strange series. It certainly highlights the pettiness of our societal obsession with aesthetics, whether intentional or not. Number 4, Kimi no Todoke. Talk about realistic. Kimi ni Todoke is definitely that. It gives readers the chance to experience romantic love in the most realistic of ways. The story is simple, ordinary, and pure. But that doesn't mean it's boring or not special. This is one of the best romance manga in the world. Kuronuma Sawako not only has a name similar to that of Sadako from The Ring, she also is gloomy and shy. With her appearance and personality, she is often misunderstood by her classmates, despite her good intentions. Unexpectedly, a boy with a refreshing personality and good looks makes contact with her. Is this her golden opportunity? Will he be able to save her from the depths of her own darkness? Is there actually hope for her when it comes to romance? Number 3, Horimiya. Originally known as Hori-san to Miyamura-kun, Horimiya is a charming and wholesome romance manga, originally written and drawn by Hiroki Odaki, Hiro, before being adapted and redrawn by Daisuke Hagiwara. Horimiya also has a hugely popular romance anime adaptation, and the anime has proven to be a truly outstanding adaptation of the original manga source material. The Horimiya manga follows the quickly blossoming romance between high schoolers Kyoko. She is a popular honor student with a secret home life packed with responsibility and raising her adorable little brother. He is an introverted, all but invisible middle-of-the-road student with a secret private life as a tattooed and pierced himbo. Horimiya is one of the most popular romance manga ever written. What has helped it succeed so splendidly is how well developed its 2 protagonists are. Their dramas, issues, dreams, and daily lives as individuals are fleshed out and given real attention. Pile a romance on top of this and you have 2 characters that you not only care about, but whose romance is a joy to watch unfold. Their romance also moves forward refreshingly quickly and smoothly, as opposed to those seen in the majority of romance manga. Horimiya is a comedy romance manga, but the comedy serves more to keep the story light rather than to be laugh-out-loud funny. Come for the romance and stay for the chuckles. Number 2, Maid-sama. Maid-sama. Keiku wa Maid-sama, or The Class President is a Maid, is another hugely popular classic romance manga with an unusual premise. The title of the series certainly paints a particular image which, when peeled back, actually reveals a far more mature romance story. The titular president/maid is our protagonist, Misaki Ozawa. As a student at a school that was once only for male students, Misaki has a lot to prove. She rises to the top and becomes student body president. However, Misaki has a student. In order to help support her sick mother, Misaki works part-time at a maid cafe. When popular boy Takumi Usui finds out the truth, he keeps it to himself. Usui is intrigued by Misaki and the 2 soon fall in love. The story continues to twist and turn from here, so I won't say anything more, but it does continue to throw a few surprising curveballs. They're dramatic, sure, but also mature and have a lot of social commentary wrapped up in them. Maid-sama is another classic romance manga, the reputation of which continues to this day. Number 1 is Eyes is a pure shonen, ichi, romance about a boy named Seto Ichitaka, who has had huge crush on a cute girl in his class, Yoshizuki Iori. This may be the setting for a typical romantic comedy, but Eyes is able to do great things with this plot. The story starts abnormally enough with us getting to know the characters and their typical personalities, but even with these typical personalities, the characters are pretty amazingly developed in their own way, through so many situations. But due to its shonen traits, the romantic progression is rather slow, indecisive male protagonist, but the various developments that arise do help spice things up a bit. Love triangle. Eventually the story finds the right pace of a romance manga, however this only occurs after the first couple lackluster volumes. Once Eyes reaches a certain point in the story, it becomes truly amazing, in both the romance and comedy areas. There's also quite a bit of drama, but it feels really strange as the manga went from a lot of laughs to plenty of angst. In the end it did go well with the overall story, where everything was able to resolve nicely. The artwork at the beginning was great, with a lot of detail being put into character designs, especially during the close-ups, but it lacked detail in every other aspect. Nonetheless, it didn't take long before the artwork of this manga reached perfection, and it becomes difficult to find any faults, especially with the ichi scenes. Overall, this turns out to be a truly in-depth rom/com manga that's so captivating you'll find it hard to stop once you reach the latter half. This is one of the most underrated romance manga, and everyone should try this manga out. So, there you have it. The 10 best romance manga of all time. And that's been it. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.